I have to focus. I'm a little camera shy.
Dr. Faustus is an Elizabethan tragedy by Christopher Marlowe, based on German stories about Faust that was written sometime between 1589 and 1592 by Christopher Marlowe.
That's me.
So Christopher, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was said to be born on February 26, 1564, but the actual birthday is debated because I was said to be baptized on that same day. I was born the same year as Willie Shakes, my bro. Yeah, what an honor, dude. I have 5 sisters. I have 2 brothers, and of course, a mom and a dad, because that's how humans work.
So, what motivated you to write?
Well, I think it started with college. I went to King's School and was awarded a scholarship that enabled me to go to Corpus Christi College at Cambridge from 1580 to 1587. 7 years, what a college experience. I was proud to write for the companies that recognized the importance of child actors, their diversity, and I believe that we could minimize the limitations set on said child actors because kids can be talented too. Ka-chow.
So Christopher, what's a fun fact about you?
Well, a letter that I sent to Cambridge inferred that I was a secret agent of sorts. Now, I can't really tell you what was in the letter, but it may have been secret.
What is one of your most favorite compositions?
Well, I would have to say Dr. Faustus, but before this, I wrote 2 plays in college, Dido and Queen of Carthage, but they did not get published till 1594, which was a while after my college experience, which, as you remember, ended in 87. Now, Dr. Faustus was interesting because I wrote the book, but then 2 different people made copies. The first was Valentine Simmons in 1604. Then my boy John Wright made another one in 1616. The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus is my most famous play, but all of my plays are pretty famous. Humble brag. When I wrote it, it was a topic debate. It was known as the first recorded play of the German legend, Dr. Faust. Or Faust. 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 I deviated since my hero is unable to repent and have his contract annulled when he makes a deal with the devil.
So how did it all end?
Eventually, I was arrested for being an atheist, which was seen as a crime back then in my day. Thankfully, I wasn't jailed or tortured, but I had to report daily to an officer of the court, which isn't fun. On May 30th, I was killed by Ingram Fisher. The homie stuck a knife in my head, and I instantly died. Since then, there have been many conspiracy theories about my atheism spying. No one really knew why I died, but they knew I got stabbed in the head.
Wait, why are you... Why? Well, that was fun. Yeah, he's an interesting man. And this is Jonathan Stewart. He's the historian for today's endeavors. Please, will you tell us what the people cared about, what their interests, and just overall what they liked in the 1590s?
Yes. London around this time was a very advanced city than others because of the arts in the area. It was a central hub for trades and goods, trading goods and stuff like that. Elizabeth I was the ruler around that time and was very well known and liked by the people of England. Plays were at the height of their popularity. They were also the main source of entertainment around this time.
What were some significant things that were going on at the time?
So there's a lot of stuff going on around this time with diseases and people moving into England for new wages and jobs. So the Queen of England is trying to stabilize England by compromising between the Protestants and the Catholics, because there's a lot of conflict between the two. So in Scotland in the 1590s, thousands of women and men were being tortured and killed for alleged witchcraft. Yet when James I claimed the throne in England, he adopted the current laws, no witchcraft trials. So although England had laws against witchcraft, they were far more just and objective than Scottish laws at the time. James also moderated other religious views.
What did the people dislike?
Well, there weren't any sewers in London, so the people disliked the very dirty living conditions that they had to suffer through. In fact, they were so dirty that plague struck, and plague killed more than a fifth of the population. So yeah, that wasn't no good. People didn't like that. Also, poor architecture around the Thames River caused a lot of flooding damage as well. A lot of people died as a result. People didn't like that, obviously. Crime was also rampant. The streets were really bad. It was also poorly dealt with as well. The government really didn't help that situation at all. So London was pretty dangerous at night. The night streets of London were kind of a no-go. The quality of health was very low as well. In fact, 60% of the deaths were from illness. There was very little outdoor lighting as well, so it was very dark. There weren't really that much of a problem with moths. I don't know if y'all have seen the moth memes lately, but yeah, they didn't have no moth memes because there wasn't a lot of outdoor lighting in the first place. There are little means of entertainment other than plays. So like I said, people liked the plays back in the day. Back in the 1590s, I tell you what, plays were the thing. The Thames River was a major attraction. It was used to clear out excrement as well. That's a huge attraction in London, is excrement clearers. And it also cleared out a lot of other garbage. So people really like to see the garbage cleared, dumped in the river. So people liked that.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Marlon.
Shakespeare, William, the best.
No, actually, William Shakespeare was born the same year as, what is it?
Christopher Marlowe.
Marlowe.
They were born the same year, but this isn't written by Shakespeare.
Oh,
But you're close. They were buds, right, Daniel?
Buddies.
very close buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can,
That's true,
1950s,
actually.
1950s.
Wait, no, 1590s.
Yeah, 1590s, so right there. Just the other way around.